Okay, today's video is going to be on how properly drying a car can prevent most of the scratches and swirls, because drying the car is the single most dangerous time for creating them. The thing is, the more you rub your car with a towel, the greater the odds that you're going to cause scratches and swirls. But to do that, I need to wash a car. So the question becomes, is my wife's car dirty enough to wash? It's been almost 2 weeks since it was detailed. It's been rained on. It's got pollen over it. It's been driven on wet roads. But ultimately, the choice is mine. It's my car. Well, actually my wife's, but I'm in charge of it, so it's my decision. This is one of those times where you can honestly say, this is completely about me, and not feel guilty about it, and not have to explain yourself to anybody. Now, it all depends on your point of view and your compulsion level. I mean, from this distance and this angle, the car looks fine. Looks like it's perfectly clean. And 99% of people looking at it will agree. However, from a detailer standpoint, as you get closer, like the wheels, you can see there's dirt on the wheels. The rims have some dust and grime on them. Nothing bad, but it's there. You look at the hood. If you look at it closely, I don't know if you can see it in this light, but there's pollen and dust all over it. Come over here, try to show them. There's little bitty specks, maybe small bird droppings. There's a small bird dropping up there on the roof, but literally it's coated in dust completely. To me, whose OCD is very high, this car is filthy. You can even see a dusty scuff mark where somebody leaned up against it. All in all, it is a clean car. Yeah, you can kind of see the dust a little better on the hood, on the roof. So, in my opinion, and this is just me, yes, it does need washed. You can see the dust again on the back glass. So I am going to wash her car, but I'm not going to do the all-out, open the doors, open the hatchback, get the little brushes out, spray every nook and cranny, go over the car where the wash mitt won't reach. I'm not doing an intense first time ever or spring cleaning wash. This is just your basic maintenance wash. Now, I'm not going to ignore the door jambs and the hatchback, but those are going to wait till after it's washed and dried, and I've used the air compressor to blow out all the hidden water from the spots. The only thing I'm going to be doing to the door jambs and the hatchback is getting a microfiber towel, some quick detailer, and I'm going to wipe them down. And it will look just as good as it did the day I waxed them, because the wax right now is still in very good condition and its protection level is very strong. I could stop there and it would be fine. But I like waxing cars, so it's possible, depending on how I feel, that I'll pull it into the garage and put a second coat of wax on it just because. I'm not going to show you this wash because I've already demonstrated the basic wash. A good rinse, plenty of soap and water, a wash mitt that holds a lot of soap and water, using only the weight of the mitt on the top surfaces, just enough pressure on the sides, and that's how you wash your car to minimize causing any blemishes. What I'm going to do is wash the car, and when it's time to dry, I'll bring you back, put you on the tripod, show you the two different ways of rinsing a car, show you the correct way to rinse the car in order to get it ready to dry. because most of the scratches from drying the car come from excessive wiping. Excessive wiping comes from excessive water being on the car. I'll show you a way that on a well-waxed car, you can get rid of 95 or better % of the water on the car by using the garden hose again. And that eliminates nearly all the drying, all the rubbing, and all the risks of scratching. Bring you back shortly. Okay, so the car has been completely washed and completely rinsed. I'll show you the difference between the two rinses, why I use the one I do, and you'll see the effects on it. When you first wash your car, you'll want to use as much pressure as your hose or whatever can give you, because that will force its way into the nooks and crannies where the soap will hide and could drip out later, causing soap streaks. Those are not hard to get rid of. They're just unsightly and a pain. So the initial rinse should be like this. And as you all know, this is a well-waxed car. It was just done 2 weeks ago. The water's beating up and running off nicely, but there's still quite a bit of water on there. Even for my PFM towel, which can take it can deal with this much water, but by the end it's going to be soaking wet and leaving streaks. And if you don't have a PFM towel and you're using smaller microfibers, that means you're going to be doing a lot of rubbing and taking a lot of chances of putting swirl marks and scratches in your paint, especially if you have a dark car or one that's highly polished like this one is. I'm going to shut you off for a second, take the nozzle off the hose, then I'm going to start with the back off camera, work my way forward, and show you the flood rinsing technique on the hood and the fender. And you'll see just how much water is removed by using water. Be back. Okay, so now I've flood rinsed the roof, the windshield, the hood, and this front fender have not been flood rinsed yet. Even after some time giving the water a chance to run off, there's still quite a bit there. I'm going to zoom you in a little bit, maybe, so you can actually see the water. Now I'm going to flood rinse the windshield and hood. Then you can see the actual difference that it makes by using a flooding technique. And as you can see, I'll pick you up and move you around, almost all the water has run off the hood in one big sheet. There's still some drops and streaks here and there, but for the most part, the hood is practically dry. The windshield is almost completely dry. Come over here to the fenders, and gravity works quite well on the horizontal panels, the windows. Everything is almost completely dry, which means you use the towel, either the PFM, a specific drying towel, or the small towels, a lot less wiping, less chances of swirls. I may continue this when I'm done drying the car, we'll see. If not, catch you in the next one. Well, I did just think of something. I thought as I was grabbing my PFM towel, it might be a good idea to show you just how well it works and how effective this flooding technique is for assisting to dry the car. With the PFM towel, you use no pressure whatsoever. Just the weight of the towel is enough to completely remove the water from the car. All you do is drape it over the hood, the roof, whatever you're drying, and slide it across. Now, with the exception of the two washer nozzles, which lifted the towel up off the car, the hood is completely dry. It took me seconds. Now you just go around to the rest of the car, using gravity to hold the towel against the car. And on the sides, what you're going to do is, since this towel is so large, you're going to fold it into quarters and use just enough pressure to hold it against the car and keep it from falling. Because if it hits the ground, you're done. It attracts dirt just as well as it does water, and if it hits the ground, it's going to have to be washed before it can be used again. I'll move you a little bit so you can see the sides, and then I will demonstrate the sides, and this one will be done. Okay, now the towel's folded into quarters. Take it, lay it against the car, and using just enough pressure, draw it across. And that's all there is to it. Make a circle around the car. Once I do that, I'm going to take it into the garage, use the air compressor, and blow it out. Then I'm going for ice cream. Y'all have a good one.